when I putter around out here on beautiful days. I need these plants so I can putter around outside. I am a one-woman show, baby. Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And today we're gonna start some cool weather seeds, some cool weather flowers. But before we do that, I wanna introduce myself. I think that I have new people here. I'm sure I have new people here. And I wanna introduce myself. I am Asia, as I said. I grow in a urban space in my backyard. I have a mix of growing areas. I grow in no-dig, raised beds, bags, and in ground. I raise chickens for eggs, and I raise quail for eggs and for meat. There are 2 greenhouses on my property, and one is from Quick Tent. The larger one, I've gotten a few questions on where I got my greenhouse from. It is from Quick Tent. The smaller greenhouse is from Vevor. The bags that I grow in are from Amazon and newly from Bootstrap Farmer. And if you've seen a recent video and you ask yourself, where did she get those colorful trays from? They are also from Bootstrap Farmer. Most of the things that I have in my garden, they are linked below. So always check the description. I don't always have a chance to answer my comments, but I absolutely read them all, which is why I'm here today letting you know where most of the things that I have in my backyard are from, what company they came from. So always check the description. If there is something that you're looking for from my homestead that you don't see in the description, please feel free to leave a comment. I will add it to my description box. I am trying to work on answering comments. I think people maybe have noticed that in the last few videos. I also have another channel. It's called Essentially Asia, and that's where I vlog my life. And so I'm running 2 YouTube channels. At this point, I don't work a conventional job. I left my job in August, and I've mainly been doing YouTube since I left my job. So anywho, what are we doing today? Like I said, we are starting some cold weather flowers. So let's go in the greenhouse and talk about the flowers that I'm gonna start. Before we get started, I do want to show y'all the garden, give you an update on the garden. We're not going through everything, just want to let you look at it, see what it's looking like. Just remember, we had a 10-degree night. Like, we had 10 and then we had 10 nights, and I am surprised in my garden right now. So there you have it, bed number 1. Brussels sprouts still looking good, cabbage looking amazing. Sometime this week that broccoli is absolutely going from up out of here. Bags, they have started to kind of sit up. There are more that's sitting up than there were, but the ones that are not, like this one right here, that one right beside the last one, we're gonna be pulling those this week. We're gonna do all of this together. This bed here still look right rough. Pretty sure that broccoli plant is gonna go, both of them. I'm still gonna leave the kale. The kale's looking good. Cabbage is sitting back up. Love that for us. This bed over here, everything is sitting back up and looking better. So yeah, we're loving that. Except for that one Lacinato kale. And even over here, like this one has plumped back up. These I think are not, because they're shaded. Pretty much all day they're shaded. They're not getting a lot of sun, but the one that is looking okay. The cauliflower, of course, we already knew that was dead, but the cabbage in the bags are sitting back up. Those cauliflowers look terrible. And then of course, this bed over here looking better. Bed in the middle, also looking a little bit better. Last bed over here in the collards, that's a cabbage. The rest of this is collards. So even I am surprised at what that garden is looking like, because I said it in the video. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be pulling the garden out. I don't think we will. I am hydrating, trying to do better with drinking water. Thank you to the person who sent me this cup. Someone wanted an update on the garlic that's in the greenhouse. So there you have it. That's the garlic that's in the greenhouse right now. Not looking the best, but if you remember, we only really put that garlic in here to try to do something with the soil. It would be great to get a garlic harvest, but garlic needs like cold periods. It does get cold in here, but it also gets right warm in here. Like right now, it's really warm. We'll see what happens with that. Oh, the other thing is someone wanted to see the strawberries that were in the greenhouse. Let me show you. This is clearly not a strawberry, and they need to be watered, but they're still alive in here too. Pull down another one for you. This one is still alive. So is this one. Pot number 3, still alive. You're looking for the crown, not so much the leaves. Still alive. And pot number 4. Now this one definitely died, but this one over here is still alive. Actually has some weeds in it, because how? That's an update on the strawberries that's in the greenhouse. Someone also asked for an update on the hydroponics inside. I am planning to do an indoor update this week as well. I have mushrooms coming, yay! Super excited about that. So stay tuned for an indoor growing update this week. But before we get started, I want to tell y'all about something that I am so humbled by, also excited by. It makes me excited to know that it's a thing, that it's going to be out in the public. And while it is not something that I published myself, I was given the opportunity to actually be a part of it. So if you're on Instagram and you follow Black Girls Gardening, you know she has a book coming out. Amber facilitated the publishing of this book, and it's called Black Girls Gardening. And I was given the opportunity to have my story in this book. And so I got my copy from the publisher sometime last week, and I was so excited. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw it. And I have been reading the stories of the other women. There are a lot of your favorite gardeners in here. So I'm gonna put the link to this. You can pre-order. I believe they start shipping in March, and I will be doing a giveaway because I ordered a copy and I got a free copy from the publisher. So I will be doing a giveaway once I get my copy. So also stay tuned for that. Anywho, link is below if you're interested and you want to pre-order. I just gotta say, super excited to have had the opportunity to tell my story in it. I don't really feel like doing this today, babe. My energy not that high because I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. Anywho, I'm showing up. I'm showing up because I need to do something also. So here's the thing. What are we planting? We're going to plant calendula. It's a snow princess variety. I think it's beautiful. Y'all want to hear something? Y'all want to hear something? You know how I said I was not ordering seeds this year, and I had not ordered any seeds. When I knew it was time for me to get these started, for whatever reason, I could not find these seeds, right? And so listen, imagine I ended up buying $20-some worth of seeds when I really only thought I needed calendula. Either way, you can never have enough calendula. Calendula is really good for your skin, and I have been using it so far in my tallow. So my whipped tallow and my tallow salve has calendula oil in it. There's a whole spider just coming down here, y'all. Girl, no. I did make it with olive oil this last time, but this summer I'm gonna use a different oil, maybe jojoba. I think almond is good, a good skin carrier oil. Anywho, we're gonna do the pink surprise. We only have a few seeds, but we're gonna do some purple emperor nasturtium, some black velvet nasturtium. And so both of these flowers, they do well in cool weather. And so I want these to go out early. I think I remember calendula being able to take a frost. So these will go out sometime in March. And the nasturtiums will probably be more like late March, but I want them to have a good amount of growth. I did not have a good nasturtium harvest last year. And I love nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are edible. I love the taste of them. They're a little peppery, but I think they are delicious. The whole plant is edible. Calendula flowers are also good for tea, and they can be put into a salad as well. I've never done either. I've only really used it cosmetically, but you can. The other thing I'm going to start today is this moringa, because my moringa trees didn't make it. Not because I think they wouldn't have made it in the greenhouse, but there were periods where I was leaving it open, not closing it, and also just leaving it closed. They didn't make it. They look like big pieces of mold over here. I'm also going to go ahead and start my cilantro. My cilantro bulks really quickly here. Cilantro likes cooler weather. Even if it bulks, you can get coriander seed from it, but I would like cilantro. By the way, we have cilantro growing in the house in one of the hydroponics growing systems. I'm not going to tell y'all which one. Just know I'm excited to tell y'all about it. I'm also going to start my amaranth. I have not had a lot of success with my amaranth. It may be too early to start them. If I must plant up, I will, but I'm going to start them now because amaranth is actually a really beautiful flower. You can also use it for grain. I feel like you would have to plant a lot of it to use it for grain. I really want to use it for flowers. I tried saving it for grain a little while ago. It's my quail. I always get nervous. I know they over here. They're newly over here though. Anyway, I did try to save some for grain, but I mean, you need a lot of it. So I still have the seeds inside and I can still plant them. So I still have seeds, definitely not using it for grain. I'm gonna start straw flowers today. Literally have only had success with straw flowers like one time. I think they're beautiful flowers. So we're gonna start them early. And then if we have to pot up, we will. We all know I don't want to though. Some yellow asters, beautiful flower. I mean, beautiful, very full flower. Is a very pretty flower. And then we're gonna start some violet asters as well. Purple is my favorite color. So like the days to maturity on asters is 110 to 120 days. So I need all the time I can get. All the time I could get. And straw flowers are 80 to 90. So I want to have them ready to go out in the garden as soon as they can. I'm also going to try to start some parsley as well as some dill. Dill is another one that will bolt on you pretty quickly. It likes cooler weather. So the reason why I'm starting all of this now is because it likes cooler weather and I want it to be able to go out when our weather is pretty cool. We have springs that turn into summer real quick around here. I'm going to use the 4 cell trays, Bootstrap Farmer, link below if you are interested. The other thing that I do believe I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these plants in the greenhouse because they like cool weather. Now, if we get down into the teens or something, I'm going to take them in the house. But I think I can save a little bit of energy inside if I leave them in the greenhouse. Additionally, because these are flowers, it's not going to be something food related that I'm going to lose. Now, do I want to lose them? No. Do I want to know for myself what I can grow in my area, in my backyard, in my greenhouse? During the cooler periods? Yes I do. And so that's why I'm going to do it. So this is going to be another trial type thing that we are doing, and that's what it is. And of course I always keep you updated because it's what I do. We probably are going to need some more soil because we don't have much soil left. We really don't. As I mentioned, I do a color coding. I said coating the other day. I said, well, ain't no way to fix that. Color coding system. And the reason why I'm doing them in the larger pots is because they have a little more time that they need to grow, and I don't want to plant them up. I do not want to pot them up. If you're new here, I start all of my seeds in the Miracle-Gro Organic Performance Mix, and I need to go find some labels. I think they're in the house because that's where I normally start my seeds at, in the house. But we're having beautiful days. Like today, we're in the 60s. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm out here in a t-shirt in well, no, it's February now. I'm out here in a t-shirt in February starting seeds. Absolutely love it. We're not going to get through a lot of these seeds. This is not a lot of soil in here. All right, so this is our first group right here, the Snow Princess Calendula. So calendula seeds look a little bit like little worms or something, but those are calendula seeds. I hope y'all can see it and it's not fuzzy. I am gonna put 2 seeds into each, as I always do. I just feel like it's a better idea. The back of your seed packet is gonna tell you how deep your seeds need to be. You just don't want it to be deeper than like 2 times the size of the seed, because then the seed may not be able to come up. Cover the seeds with a little more soil. You want to make sure your soil is slightly moist. That's how they're going to germinate. And for now, until I get my labels made, or you know, a piece of tape across it, whatever I plan to do, I'm just going to leave it in front of it so I know what is what. And that's how we have it right now. So maybe we can do a little bit of a Q&A today. So someone asked me, how do I like the Kellogg soil? I like the Kellogg soil for bags. I was not a super duper fan in my bed, but I also use a different compost. So I don't know if it was the Kellogg soil or the compost. These beds in this greenhouse did not do well. It just didn't do well. I don't know which one. So I don't like it so much for my beds as much as I like it for my bags. Someone also asked me, do I think that I can use microgreens to feed the worms? Absolutely. I absolutely think that it would be fine to feed the worms. Now, I don't want to because I want to eat it myself. But I think that it would be fine to feed microgreens to the worms. I do. I also give microgreens essentially to my chickens in the winter. I'll just start some seeds that I have a lot of, or that have fallen out of the packet and into my storage container. You could absolutely feed microgreens to the worms. Now, I don't particularly want to grow things to feed to the worms. I want them to survive off of the waste, like the garden waste or the food waste that we have. So I don't particularly want to, but I definitely think that I could. Someone asked, what are the signs that the bedding from the chicken area is good to use? When it is broken down, when it looks like soil. So when it's like loamy and it looks like soil, honest truth, it may have a little bit of wood chips in it, or maybe a little bit of pine shavings in it. But for me, I want to be able to stick my fork down in it and it's just fresh and loamy. And so and it will not smell like ammonia. It will not smell like poop. It will simply just smell like soil. So that's when you know that it is good to use. Someone asked if the leaves of Brussels sprouts and broccoli are edible. Yes, they are both edible. I am not a fan of broccoli leaves. They're a little bit strong for me, but someone said add them to your collards. I was going to do that, but I did not get a lot of collard harvest this year, and so I have not tried it. But yes, they are both edible, and you can eat those leaves. Someone asked, are my blueberries in grow bags? No, my blueberries are in ground. From the time that I said I wanted blueberries, I knew I wanted my blueberries in the ground. Nothing else. For whatever reason, it's just what I wanted. And so no, they're in ground. They've always been in ground. I fertilize them every year in spring, you know, when I'm not having crazy life like last year, and I fertilize them with holly tone. Oh, a lot of people are asking about the collard trees. They want to know if you need a specific seed. Yes, I think I said it in the video, but maybe I didn't. No, I think I did, but maybe I wasn't clear. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I got my seeds from Project Tree Collard. She is on Instagram. She sells a lot of different varieties, but yes, as I understand it, you need a specific seed to grow a collard tree. If anybody knows that that is not true, please feel free to put it down in the comments, but I did get specific seeds for my collard trees. Oh, so sorry. Someone asked what camera I use. I am using the Sony ZV-E10. That's the camera that I used before this. I was using the Sony ZV-1, I think. And then I also just recently got a DJI, and that's like a really small one, comes with a mic and everything. But to answer your question, I am using the Sony ZV-E10. Oh, y'all, we done ran out of soil already. I think I knew that I didn't have enough soil. I was just real hopeful. Either way, we done ran out of soil, so we probably get ready to just go out into the garden and pull plants, because with a day this nice, I am not going to waste it. Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna still do the Q&A. All we got sold was that calendula. All right, let me grab my book because I want to take my book back in the house for sure. I don't want to make a mistake and leave this out here. I was so excited. I've been reading it. It's been amazing. Also had to go back and grab my gloves and my stool. By the way, we'll be doing a giveaway with a stool soon too. Home and Garden Trends sent me a stool, an extra stool, when they were trying to send me a different version of the stool. So at this point, I have like 4 stools. And I don't want to send somebody a stool that is not like new. So I have one in the box, and I asked them, I said, can I just do a giveaway with that one? And they were like, that would be great. So we're gonna do that giveaway soon. But we're getting the stool because I'm not changing my clothes today. What I have on is what I'm gonna have on, and I may go out this evening. I know y'all do not care, but listen, we just out here, random conversations and questions being answered, okay? With my neighbor's dog barking in the background. By the way, another question that I get asked frequently is what size are my grow bags? All of my grow bags are 7-gallon. I like consistency, if that makes sense, and so I wanted everything to be the same size. So just recently we moved all of the pots. I was gonna like repot them and put them in bags and things like that, but I was like, I could get more space if I just keep them in the pots, move them somewhere else, then I have space for more bags. And I do now have space for more bags. I pulled together all the bags that I had here, like up on the porch in the greenhouse, and I put them all in a space. I still need more space. I think where the greenhouse is right now, and you know what, I said I was gonna move it, that's where I'm gonna put more bags. Very sorry about the dog barking. There's literally nothing I can do about it. Another question that I get a lot is, where did I get my comfrey seed from? I did not grow my comfrey from seed. I grew my comfrey from roots, and I was in a seed swap group on Instagram, and we ordered together, but I did not start them from seed. Now, if you go to my community section, a little while ago, I was posting all of the places that I saw that either had comfrey root or had comfrey seeds. I also think that Mary's Heirloom sells comfrey. I'm not 100% sure. So I didn't start from seed, but there are resources. Now, of course, you want to be sure that it's a reputable resource, but Mary's Heirloom is absolutely reputable. Go check my community section. At some point, every time I saw that a company was selling comfrey, I was posting it in my community section. So go check that out. So somebody asked me, how am I keeping up with all of this recording and editing for 2 channels? Probably not as graceful as I would want to be with keeping up with it. But I mean, essentially, I pick every other day. So when I'm not posting over here, that's the day that I post for my vlog channel. And I vlog all week long, pretty much. Like, that is my plan. I pick up the camera if I'm just doing something random, and I will record it. And then I will sit and edit it. I would like to edit it daily. I'm not gonna tell you that I do, because I don't. And garden videos are much easier to edit and record in the same day than a vlog is. And so vlogs I do constantly. weekly, and then my garden video, I pretty much do it same day. And so that's how I'm keeping up with it. It's not super graceful, but I am keeping up with it. So I'm also starting to get comments related to my sponsorships and like how I'm doing that. I'm not doing anything. True story, I'm not doing anything other than posting. Yeah, we're gonna take this out. That is pretty much, I think the bottom of the stem is fine. But the top, you see that? No, you don't. That's flat. The bottom seems fine, but we're gonna replant broccoli. That's what's in the smaller greenhouse. So we just go ahead and take it out. And I try to get as much soil back into the bed as I can. I brought my gloves and still didn't put the gloves on, y'all. Girl, no. Well, I had them on at a point. I'm gonna give all of this to the chickens. They'll eat what they want, and what they don't, they won't. But back to the question. And also, why am I standing in my bed? Because I have a mole or a vole, and it really doesn't matter because they're gonna come back and push my soil up anyway. Anyway, I'm not doing anything. I'm posting, and then companies are emailing me, and they're asking, do you want to work together? Some of them are on contract for longer periods of time, like for, 6 months or so. Some of them are just one-time collaborations. Some of them are paid. Some of them are not paid. I just get the product. And I do sponsorships over here because there are things that I want. There are things that I think could be useful to my subscribers. And so, yes, I do sponsorships over here. I try not to overload with sponsorships. The problem is if I get off track, if I get off schedule, sometimes they do come like one behind the other. So that's the answer to that question. I don't know how to help you because I didn't actually do anything. So sorry about that. Okay, one question that I think is pretty good, like a good question that other people may be wondering too. Someone said, hi, I was wondering why you plant some vegetables in the ground, buckets, cloth bags, and metal containers. So there's no actual reason why I plant in different ways. Now, what I will tell you is I have my best success with my peppers and my tomatoes in bags. For whatever reason, and it may be the vole, I'm really not sure of why, my peppers and my tomatoes don't grow well in beds. Now, my shallow rooted plants grow fine. My fall plants, they grow fine. Flowers grow fine, but whatever the reason, my tomatoes and my peppers don't. And it could be because they're such heavy feeders and maybe my bed does not have the nutrients that they need. Either way, there's no actual reason why, but I go with what I had the most success with. And with my peppers and my potatoes and my tomatoes, I have my best success in bags, and so I just keep that going. So answer to your question, there isn't a scientific reason why. It's because it works well in my backyard. Another question I got was about using comfrey internally, essentially. I don't use comfrey internally. I do not know how that works. I know I've seen some things that say like, you shouldn't. So for me, if you are new here, I am a very anxious person. I have anxiety. So for me, if I see one thing that say don't do it, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to die. Answer to your question though is I have never used it internally. If anybody has any kind of information about that, please feel free to put that down in the comments. But I've never used it internally. I don't know if you can. And one of the most infamous questions of all, how do you garden with them nails on? Same way you garden without them, baby. I don't have a problem gardening with my nails on. I have always had nails, like since I started gardening. I garden pretty normally with nails on, and so I don't have a problem with it. It's not that hard, honestly. It's really not. I know you would think that it is, but it's not. Look at these little plants, y'all. Just flat. Just flat. Oh, another question is my boots. I think you all are more asking about the chicken boots than any other boots that you've seen me wear, but they're all from Hisea. I've been working with Hisea for, maybe 2 years now. So if you see a boot on my foot around here, it's from Hisea, and it's always linked down in the description too. Someone asked, do I think the Lacinato kale stem will grow Lacinato kale back? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna say that because I think this will, oh nope, that one is hollow too. Girl, that's the one I was telling y'all I was gonna take this, But when I looked at it for real, I ain't gonna take it. It's brown. I'm gonna give it to the chickens though. But the reason why I say that is because when I used to, these angles are random today, but I'm working, and my larger tripod, my camera gonna end up getting broke using that. So I need to buy another tripod. But anyway, when I used to cut my plants out at the soil level, most of the brassicas would start growing again because the roots were still in the soil. So I do think you can. I think it's just like the collard trees that I did, and I just left the stem in the soil and it started to grow, and now I have more collard tree plants. Oh no, I think it's the same concept. So yes, I do think that you can leave the Lanceolado stem and it will grow Lanceolado again. I would say give it a try, especially if you're not growing anything else right now. It's definitely worth giving it a try. I don't know where you are, if you said where you are, because like if you're in Florida, I know you could be planting stuff right now, but I would definitely give it a try. My brassicas have always just grown another brassica. Now I didn't get a whole new broccoli or anything like that, but the leafy greens, they've always grown again. It's a whole bunch of weeds in this bed, baby. Look, weeds for days. I'm gonna get that to the chickens. That'll be a nice little treat for them too. I need to put my gloves on. Anyway, look, whole thing of weeds that will be food for the chickens. But for the spring though, I'll come out here and really weed these beds. Right now, I'm just thinking of the ladies and how they would love these. So I'm making the decision on what I'm gonna pull based off really feeling the stem. If the stem is mushy, even if the plant looks good, chances are it's gonna die. So that's what I'm doing to decide whether I'm gonna pull the plant. Also, if the plant looks like super pale, chances are it's already dead. Yeah, like that one is flat all the way down. So we're pulling it. Even if it looks, ooh, look at that worm. Look at that worm. Nice worms. Having worms in your garden bed, that is a sign of good soil health. I seen it when I was pulling out the other broccoli too, but wasn't as clear. Even though that broccoli head was looking okay, that plant was definitely dying. Someone asked, how did I build my greenhouse? It was a, like I said, it's from Quick Tent, but it was a kit. So it was very simple for me to build. It had the directions with it, and it wasn't hard at all. So my neighbor's dog. Someone asked if I fertilize my Brussels sprouts with fish emulsion or comfrey tea. Everything out here at this point has only been fertilized with comfrey tea because that's what I was using before it got cold, and now I don't have any. So I still haven't fertilized with fish emulsion just yet, but everything that's out here was comfrey tea. I have not fertilized with fish emulsion this year for the fall. Well, last year I did not use fish emulsion in the fall. I only used comfrey tea, which is what I want to continue to do. I just have to get enough made. This year, I am planning to separate some of the plants that I have, planting them in other places so that I can have a good amount of comfrey that's not fighting each other to grow. And so that's my plan, and I'm planning to like just keep making buckets of comfrey tea, and that's what I want to use to fertilize. Fish emulsion will absolutely be a backup because I love fish emulsion. Oh, by the way, I'm sure somebody's wondering where I am. That's something I didn't say. I'm in Virginia, Zone 7B. I'm in Virginia, Zone 7B, near Richmond. That one seems fine, so we're gonna leave it. It's still thick. Maybe when it warms up and stuff. That one seems fine. That one also seems fine. But oh my goodness, these leaves so crunchy. We'll leave it, see what happens. Go ahead and take this little Lycian. I don't care. That ain't gonna do nothing. That one is dead. It didn't have much roots to it anyway. But I guarantee you that's because the vole, you see how my foot just sinking down in there? Because the vole has bent over here. Like, girl, she don't like me. I am gonna try to get more of the things that make the noise, I don't know what they're called, and kind of put them all over the garden to see if that helps this year. I have to do something because it's way more active this year. And well, last year, because this year just started, it was way more active than it has ever been. So I gotta do something. This honestly, I don't think is one of those things that I can say is fine on anymore. If you're new here, that's one of my favorite sayings is it's fine, because I'm very laid back in my gardening methods. I don't overdo it. As I have said before, and I know I said it on Instagram, my garden is one of my places that I come for peace, to like just relax. And with that being said, if I overthink it and just make it a hassle for me, I'm not gonna want to do it. So there's that. All right, we're finally gonna go ahead and grab this cauliflower. Not frozen anymore, thank goodness, because it was frozen the last time. That cauliflower did not make it, baby. It did not make it. More treats for the girls. Someone asked, do I ever think I will go live? I have gone live once by myself. I think I've gone live with Broke Farmer once, but other than that, I have been on his panel a couple of times, just like up there. I did his birthday with him. That was a fun time. But do I think I'm gonna go live? So, I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. It makes me so nervous to go live, and I don't know why. It may just be because I have to, you know, be able to follow all the comments, try to answer everybody. I don't want to miss people. So the answer is, I don't know. I am thinking about it. I have thought about it several times, just going live, like turning it on and going live. But for whatever reason, it makes me nervous. So I'm still thinking about it is the answer. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I'm saying I'm still thinking about it. But, okay, tell me this. If I were to go live, tell me what you would want to talk about. I think I also would be, and I know people go live and just kind of talk about whatever, but I feel like for me, I would feel better if there was specific topics that we were talking about. And then, of course, you can ask whatever you want or leave whatever comments you want, and I'm going to respond to them. But do you have things that you would want to talk about? If you do, put it down in the comments, and I think that maybe I would get a little more comfortable with going live. I don't know. My answer is I don't know. Another question, not garden related, is people are asking, do I plan on selling my knitting and my crocheting? I do actually. I think I mentioned that I do plan on doing that. I'm still just trying to work through it. I've never owned a business. I have always worked for someone else, and that is essentially going to be starting a business. So while I've made this change in my life, there are things now that I'm having to learn. And so I am still making them. I'm still working on creating hats. I'm going to do scarves. It's like he or she starts barking as soon as I start talking. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how this all works. I've had meetings with an accountant. I don't have a manager or anything like that. I am a one-woman show, baby. And so I'm just trying to learn things, if I'm honest. And so yes, I do plan on doing that. I know it's going to be warm soon, and so maybe that might not be the best time to launch, but I'm figuring it out. And I do appreciate you for wanting to support that if I do it. Well, when I do it. We're going to say when I do it. But yes, I do plan on selling my crochet and my knitting. Someone asked if I ever had a TV show. I have not. So no, I just haven't ever. Okay, so we've pretty much pulled everything. Now, I could go through and pull these leaves off too, the ones that are pretty much dying or dead, kind of like I did with the Brussels sprouts, but not every leaf, just the ones that, got burnt in the cold. And so that's what I'll do. Now, I feel more comfortable fertilizing. I did not want to fertilize things that were gonna die anyway. And I was like, I'm gonna fertilize once I get some of this stuff pulled. And so I did pull quite a few things, but I'm happy with that because now the garden looks healthy, and I could tell what's actually living and what's not now. By the way, these chickens is looking at these leaves like, girl, if you don't get out of here. they kind of has to did it, baby. They looking at these leaves like, I'm not gonna be eating that. They will though eventually, but when I first give them stuff that's not what they normally get, they already had treats today, but that's not what they normally get. They definitely be giving me to look like, what is this? I do get questions right often of what should I start in my area, right? I'm not one of those gardeners that's going to tell you what to start in your area because I honestly do not know what to start in your area. What I will say is I would recommend, and I think I said it before, but I saw the comment again asking what somebody should start. What I'll say is the biggest part of starting seeds successfully at the right time is checking your last frost date. In most cases, a seed packet is going to tell you how early before your last frost date you should plant a seed to start it. So I would say look up your last frost date. Farmer's Almanac is great for that. I use Farmer's Almanac because I don't live in a big city, right? But I can still put my zip code in and it's going to give me my last frost date. Not the last frost date of the biggest city near me. Is going to give my last frost date. And so what I would do is Google my last frost date, and then I would look at what I want to plant. Then I would look at the days to maturity. Even if these things are not on the actual seed packet, it will be online. You can find it online. So I don't like to say what you can start in your area, because I would hate for somebody to start their seeds because I said this is a great time for you to start your seeds based on the limited knowledge that I have about your area, and your seeds don't successfully grow. So that's my suggestion. Unless you're in zone 7B near me, I'm probably never going to say you should start this or you should start that, because I truthfully do not know. And y'all know I keep it real over here. I'm transparent and I don't know. Another question that I get a lot is about the hoodie that I wear that says I like growing things. I think that's what it says. I got that hoodie from Jess over at Roots and Refuge. I didn't get it from her. I ordered. I don't know her. But I did not, I ordered it from her shop. She does pre-orders. They're not always available, I don't think. But go check out Roots of Refuge. That is where I got that hoodie from. I think I have two of her, a hoodie and a sweater. And it's good quality. And I like the sayings that she puts on them. So that's where that hoodie came from. At this point, I'm just going through and pulling leaves. Anything that's out here now, I'm leaving because I think it has a fighting chance of providing me with a vegetable. So do I think I'm gonna get a harvest from every one of these plants? I don't. The ones that I'm leaving, I don't. But you know what? I'm leaving them because on beautiful days like this, I could come outside and putter around and mess with these plants. Even though I may not get a harvest, at least I could come out here and putter around and do the things that I like to do, which is garden. It is not always for me about the harvest. It's being able to come out here. And so leaving these plants in, it is giving me hope that I will get a plant. It's also making sure that I still have something to do on beautiful days like this before summer gets here, spring gets here, and then the garden is in full effect. So I don't want y'all to think that I really think I'm gonna get a harvest from everyone. It's something to do, and I like gardening. Since I'm out here, I figured I would come over here and do a little bit of work too, because some of these leaves look pretty darn bad. Look at that. That's a kohlrabi. All right, so the last thing we're going to do before we fertilize the whole entire garden in here and outside is going to pull the leaves and the dead things out of here. Things like that. That's good and dead. So we're going to pull all of this stuff out. Yeah, this one is dead too. I think I mentioned that. Like if I pulled all of these plants right now, how would I putter around out here on beautiful days? I need these plants so I can putter around outside. Let's see, it's still looking good in here. That's a leaf that need to go. But I'm happy I decided to put a bed in here and actually grow. The cabbage didn't do well in the greenhouse. That's interesting because it did really good outside. Like none of my cabbage survived in the greenhouse. No idea why though. And I still haven't decided what I'm gonna plant in the greenhouse for the summer. Y'all give me some ideas. Give me some ideas of what I could plant in the greenhouse in the summer. I don't want to do tomatoes. I tried that. Or peppers. They did not do well in here. And it's probably my lack of care, but still. I don't want to try it again. So this is just 3 kohlrabi left here because we had 2 cabbages. And kohlrabi leaves are edible. Not these because they don't look good, but kohlrabi leaves, the bulb, the stem, whole plant is edible. Kohlrabi in general is delicious. It tastes like cabbage and broccoli mixed. It's one of those vegetables, like I talk about shishito peppers, that's how I feel about kohlrabi. Had never tasted before I started gardening. All right, so now we've straightened this up. And now I just feel much better about fertilizing because I feel like I'm fertilizing plants that are alive only. Y'all know what else? I need some more wood chips. Now, do I need another chip drop right now? Yes. Am I gonna get another chip drop right now? Probably not, because my family gonna be like, girl, nah, we just did this. But I do want another chip drop. I need to find some wood chips though. The girls need more wood chips over in their run area. So I pulled the leeks off camera too. They aren't like huge or anything, but I could season something with them. Uh-oh. They broke in half when I was trying to pull them out because I was trying to be lazy instead of digging. That's what I get. And now, this is what the greenhouse is looking like. Much neater. Probably can take this one. It looks much neater. This is a Swiss charge. You wouldn't have even been able to tell that it was in here. Y'all see how my soil is falling down? I need to come stand on that. Nah, I should not. But it's definitely swishing down. That's my alarm to go do my mommy duties. I will be back in a minute. All right, so I made it back and I'm about to end the video. Just want to show you what the garden is looking like now. Because I think we started and then I didn't finish. So that's one bed. I did end up taking the leeks out. These beds are looking good. Like I said, I'm going to fertilize. Not right now though. Beds are looking good too. This one is still iffy, but I'm thinking that it needs some more sun. I dug down. If you remember, I put some chicken bedding in here. So I dug down to make sure that the actual stem wasn't rotting. It is not. So we're going to leave those. We did end up having to pull a cabbage up here. Past the soil, it was actually rotten, but we still have some cabbages left. Probably need to take this leaf, which I will. The middle garden bed, we still have 2 kohlrabi. We got some broccoli. Then the kale down at the end. We didn't pull anything out of here. Everything is looking good, except for this. It does need to be pulled. I didn't see it. That was a tiny baby kohlrabi. Then this bed, we didn't really pull anything. Just took some leaves off, cleaned it up a little bit. We did have to pull a broccoli right here, but we still have a few broccoli left. But that is the garden in February. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.